All right. My name is Larry Kwegbo. You're welcome to New Digital Farm. Please subscribe to my channel in case you're just coming across my channel for the first time. In case you want, you've been here, you watched my video before, you have not subscribed. Please subscribe and like. If you have any question, you can always put it in the comment section, and I'm going to answer you. Now, today, we want to learn about something. Now, I know most of you have a garden, you have a farm, you've been seeing flower work like this, and you've been wondering, this is my flower, you don't know how what happens and how it works. Now, I want to tell you about this guava tree. Now, this is my guava tree. This is my dwarf guava. I planted this is just 2 months old. It was done by the method of air layering. That's why I tell people that if you want to have a dwarf tree, you want to have a dwarf tree, there are 3 methods you can do, which are actually 4, but the other one is still grafting, right? Which is bulk grafting, the normal grafting. We have cutting, and we have air layering. For me, I prefer air layering because any of the grafting, apart from cutting you don't need more work. But when it comes, but cutting take more time to shoot, from shooting stage to developing stage to start fruiting stage. Take a lot of time. When you come to grafting need a lot of work. When you have a grafted plant, you have to be taking care of that plant. What do I mean by the word taking care of it? You have to be looking at the plant every time to remove the unwanted shoot. The rootstock on which you graft on, you will not allow that rootstock to shoot by the side. But once you shoot, it will delay the one you use in grafting. So that one have a little work, you have to be looking at it. But air layering is the ultimate. That one once you rooted, once your plant start rooting, when you're air layered and you plant it, or naturally then plant it, after then you don't have to take care of it again. Once you plant it, all you have to do is to be chasing away fungal infection and the rest, just like you do for any other plant and crops. So that one just plant it, and in less than no time, most plant will fruiting within a year. Most of the plant, be it guava, orange, tangerine. So all of our own plants are all planted by the method of air layering. By so doing, we don't need too much work. That's why I tell people, if you want to buy, we have grafted plant also. We have grafted and we have air layered. We also say grafted, we say air layered plant. But most time, I will tell people, if you want to plant air layered plant, because by then you're gonna start fruiting. I planted this just 2 months ago. Okay, no, this month make it 3 months. This December. So this month make it 3 months. This December is not finished yet, but you can see this is December and already 3 months. You can see it's fruiting. So let me get a flower. So the major reason why I'm here, I want to talk about this flower today. Now, when you see a flower like this, the first thing you come to your mind that this is about to fruit. Now, at this point now, I will use the word is still a virgin. What you are seeing so is still a virgin, but it's not open for pollination yet. Where pollination will take place. Now, this takes about 35 to 45 days to form and also open as flower. You see, these are still virgin flower, is still close. The bud now, this is in the bud, and this bud now is still close. So it takes about 35 to 45 days for this. Some of them can be lesser or even higher than that. And that even depends on the season. Like I say, all these other plants that you're seeing, so just like the one you're seeing, that depends on the season. Sometime what they call it, spring season, it take about 33 days. You understand? It take about 33 days to 41 days for this to form in spring season. Then when it comes to rainy season, it will take about 36 to 45 days, not like your normal rainy season. That is when this take about 35 to 45 days. But normal dry season, it take lesser than that. Can take 26, can take 30, can take 33, to 41 days. So it take lesser. Some plants, like the one done by air layering, it even take less than can take up to like 19 days or even 2 weeks to start flowering and open, or probably around 18 to 20 days. But mostly 25 days to 28 days, it should be flowers and open when it comes to air layering plant propagation. But now let me move to what I'm going to. Now, what I discovered, I'm just what I discovered. Two things I discovered when it comes to guava tree or any kind of tree. Now, for guava tree, now look at this now. This flower now you're seeing, let me open this one, you're seeing, see the two. So this flower you're seeing now is still a bud. Like I said, for me, I call it a virgin flower. We are not open for pollination yet. That's what I call it. That's not the name, but I call it virgin flower. So look at it now. You discover that the one of this very one now is getting almost like ripen. Now you know that time when if a guava tree start fruiting, and its tongue is always green, just like this leaf, you're already green. Now as it keep getting bigger, before you know, it will now start getting brighter. As start getting ripen, now start getting brighter. Before you know it, all the whole body of the fruit have gotten brightening for eating and for plug. That means it have already ripened. Now, same thing happened to this bug now. Now, when you see it like that, you discover that it's getting ripened. You wonder how it was. It was green, just like this tail part. Now, look at this. Get this tail part now. You can see it was green like this. But look at this tip, this other part now. It's not green. It's getting brighter. That's to tell you that it's trying to burst. Like try to open as flower for pollination. And this pollination will take place early in the morning. The pollination take place early in the morning, one around 5:30, from 5 to 9:30 a.m. in the morning. So it opens very early in the morning. I've been here once, it opens like that when I came here early enough, and one of them there opens. So you can look at it now. It's about to open. So when you see it getting this bright like this, will tell you that this thing is about to open for pollination. So I just want to let you know that this is how it turns when it open for pollination. And guava tree is always forming, the fruits are always forming at this axial part of the plant on each of these leaf, you know. So that's how it works. Now I want to also tell you something. Have you ever wondered why fruit trees don't just fruit on any branch? Except when the plant is still fragile like this. Now, if you look at this one, they don't fruit here, they didn't fruit on this, but they're fruiting on this one. Now, do you know that for my own observation, my own since I've been into this business, I've been looking at it for about 2 years now. I've been looking at these things. Now, I discovered that. Do you know that plants measure its strength of the strength of each branch by the wing? Like most time, they use the wing to measure the strength of each branch. Now it depends on, they know the amount of winds that comes, and they know how they calculate that. So if let's say a heavy amount of wind comes, let's say scale 1 to 10, and like 5% of wind comes, they'll look at how this thing will bend. Now, if 3% of wind comes, we'll look at how this thing will also bend. If 8% of winds comes, they also look at how this thing will also bend. Now, all those things are trying to measure the weight at which this thing can carry. So that will now determine how, the size of fruit and the weight of fruit that this thing will be able to bear, and the amount of fruit. So that's why you see that when trees are fruiting, they don't fruit too much on a certain branch. You understand? If that branch is able to carry that, and sometimes you discover that if this thing form, as this thing forms here now, if this branch is unable to carry a big fruit, this thing will keep delaying until that branch has reached a long to carry a big fruit. That's what happens most time. So you understand? So that's why you see a younger plant like this that you see going to get strength. Most time don't bear fruit. They are bear fruit like they always abort the fruit, because if this branch have not been able to carry the strength, don't have that amount of strength to carry the fruit that is coming, this fruit will not bear. It will abort this fruit. So it must always, if it eventually bear, the fruit will be small. It won't be big, because this branch will to carry. Now, some of all human, we tend to spray, put in some fertilizer and some thereabout to make it fruit quick. If that happens, and that branch to be able to fruit this kind of fruit you want it to fruit, and eventually fruit, and this branch unable to carry, you human will be the one to do what? To put it, to wedge it with some stick or tied rope, because you force it to bear that kind of fruit. It was not from the plant. You force it by your own chemical and whatever you put. Then because you have forced it, the plant will actually do what you have to do. So what will now happen? You will now be the one to support this branch, and also support the fruit for him to be able to carry that fruit. So what I'm trying to say is, every branch measure their own strength by the wings, and by so doing, knowing them, making them know the amount of fruit and the size of fruit they're going to bear per branch. So you understand now? So there are two things to take away. If they don't learn anything today, learn two things. That this thing get to this point to almost ripen before it bursts for fertilization. Two, that plants measure its strength branch by wings, by the amount of winds coming and the force of wind coming. So that's how they measure the strength of their branches. So I believe today must have learned something. At least try, at least anyhow it is, you must have learned that um, trees don't just bear fruit anyhow. They measure their strength also to see how they can be able to carry these fruits or not. Thank you for watching my channel.